Hello. Today I'm going to focus on what I do during update cycles. We are getting level 80 in NGS along with a RETEM region update. Sure, there are other updates as well, but I'm keeping it simple. This is a video on the things that I do during a major patch update. And so the first thing to get started is that if you're going to make videos like this, make a neutral Google account, just a local one where you can use your in-game name. Sure, I mean, we play our characters online and we assume the gender of the character as well. And so since we are in the middle of a maintenance right now, I'm going to show you what I tend to do. So first things first, video card drivers. Now, I have a 4090, but to make you guys be able to see this a little bit better, I'm going to go to 200%. So Windows 11, a 40 series, 4090. Notice that if you choose the operating system before you choose the product series, it will revert back to Windows 10, even though I have Windows 11. So RTX 40 series, 4090, Windows 11, game ready driver, and search. Interestingly enough, this driver was released today, 2023 1010. So perfect. I'm going to download that. Now, before I install this thing, there are AMD users out there, and so you would download AMD Adrenaline. So it's www.amd.com. You just have to Google search for Adrenaline, and that is your driver. And not to be outdone, and not to forget about them, Intel Arc drivers from intel.com, so you can search for them. Now, what I like about Adrenaline is that you download it. It has something that it will detect the driver that you need, and it will work. Intel Arc, literally you have to choose between Beta, Pro, or WHQL certified game drivers. I will stress it. Always go for WHQL. Always. If you are a gamer and you want drivers that have already been tested. So NVIDIA, AMD, Intel. So now, the other thing that's important is simply running clean installs. So I'm going to show you how, at least on the NVIDIA side of things, I run a clean install. So go to downloads, and right, it should extract now. I'm going to show you how I end up installing drivers. So it says NVIDIA graphics driver and GeForce Experience. I don't want GeForce Experience on the system. I have other means of recording, other means of optimizing, and I have a second system where I capture and stream things. So I I want just the NVIDIA graphics driver. So agree and continue. Now, there is Express and there is Custom. You want Custom because it tells you here, it provides the option for clean installation. And so I want a clean installation. What happens when you choose Express is that you just keep installing driver after driver after driver, and eventually you can get corruptions or mixing files or whatnot, and you can get in-game errors because of that. Now, there are multiple methods for doing a clean installation, but I'm just going to do the graphic driver clean installation. I'm going to check mark the box, perform a clean installation. And there we go. So I'll be back after the driver installs. All right, I'm back. And I managed to install the graphic driver. A quick note. If you're running a multi-monitor setup like myself, and you are using the GPU that's in your processor, called an iGPU, integrated graphics, you might reach a situation where the system asks for a restart on a clean installation for a graphic driver, and you find yourself with black screens after dealing with the initial splash screen, before the operating system boots. You might wonder, is it taking forever? Where's the OS? Turns out that because there isn't a graphic card driver yet installed in the system, because the reboot was to completely uninstall, you need to actually plug in your monitor to the integrated graphics, so to the back of the motherboard and not to the back of the video card. Log into Windows and it will finish the installation, and then you can just go back to the monitors connected to your discrete graphic cards. If you don't have an iGPU, it will just pass through and use the default Windows driver for your monitor and video card or whatnot. But because I do more than just playing games, I always give the following advice to people who have video editing or encoding or whatever, system builders. Never underestimate the importance and power of having an iGPU. I am serious. Your discrete graphic card, like a 4090 or a 7900 XTX or whatnot, plays a tag team with your integrated graphics. If you have to pay $10 more, $20 more, $40 more for that integrated graphics that's in your processor, do it. Because there's a lot that iGPU can actually do, and in some cases, it can do things that are faster than even a 4090. The way it works is that if you ask the 4090 to do something and that option doesn't exist, 9 out of 10 times the iGPU will cover that option. So that is important. Now, for the next part of all of this, I am going to talk about the simplest thing that you can do for game performance, which is simply check your hard drives, check your solid state drives, check your M.2s, check your storage. Make sure that you have all those screenshots backed up. Like, clean up the clutter on your system. Put in a backup drive. And so what I do is I use docking stations. You can buy those for like $10 or $20, maybe $30, and you can plug in a drive, and then you can go from computer to computer and you can back everything up. And so I'm actually going to do that right now. All right, so I put in a backup, and so now I need to figure out where I keep my screenshots. Well, I will simply put in and make another backup. So backup to October 2023. Don't be afraid if you have multiple files with the same name, because you might eventually take it and just throw it in there. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go to where my screenshots are. So I'm going to just right click on this, and so where are my screenshots? Well, I have screenshots, but these are Windows screenshots. These are Windows screenshots. So one of the things that I have set up with my Stream Deck is that I can access my screenshot directories or folders at the push of a button. So the screenshots I have here are the Windows screenshots. I backed these up earlier, so I don't need these. But then there are two other directories that I have screenshots in, and it's the NGS directory. Yes, not that many screenshots this time around, because I actually do a good job of backing them up, but because I actually use Reshade. So it's funny because Reshade goes under public pictures. So these are the ones that I've taken. And so I'm just going to go to public pictures, and it's 2.18 gigabytes. I'm going to copy them here. So while this is running, I tend to launch the tweaker. And before the server comes up, there usually is... Okay, so I put them together. Before the server comes up, there's usually an update that you can download, but I take it one step further. When I get the update, I don't take any chances. I go to troubleshooting, and I always run a full file check. Yep, always a full file check. This is for major patch updates. And this will take care of any kind of residual file problem or whatnot that you have. And so I really do not mind doing this once in a while. The worst is that you finally are able to get into a server after an update and then you start crashing left and right. And so it does not hurt to do a file integrity check. And that's what a file check is. And so I will continue doing this. I'll wait for this and I'll be right back. I'm back and I'm glad the file check went smoothly. All what remains is simply Windows Update and chipset driver updates from your motherboard manufacturer, CPU manufacturer. But I've already taken care of those. So the last thing remaining is simply the update notes. And so to get to the update notes, you would go to pso2.com and players, and basically it should be on the main page. You have to go through an H gate if you haven't been to the site before, but just get through it and go through the updates. Now, I've read through these before, and one of the things that kind of annoyed me was that we're not getting a new mission pass with this update. We have to wait till the Halloween event for the new mission pass, which kind of blows because literally you're going to get a lot of players who are not going to do weeklies and who will log off on doing dailies because they are rank 40. So I'm just going to read the updates, just give my light opinion on the matter. So, main story, chapter 6, part 3. I like that Manon and Ina contrast. So, Manon is black yellow with light colored eyes, and Ina is blue and white with red eyes. So the idea, it's you have two characters with opposite personalities working together. And I really love the look on Ina. So Ina fans will be happy. Retem's exploration sectors have been updated. Warp saucers in Retem's exploration sectors and Mikard lower level. So this is for traversing the region. Mining and new trial, tames trapping in each exploration sector. My advice to you is Kavaris is the place that one can gather the easiest, at least in my experience. Retem has been, in my experience, the toughest to gather. Don't put 64 items in your storage representing stuff that you can gather. If you get your food buff from Kavaris, the effect will transfer over to the other sectors as long as the other regions, as long as you actually get your food buff in the region using the region food. So get your 10 crisp meats in Kavaris, 10 Kavaris crisp meats, and then you can use those anywhere, even outside of Kavaris. But I'm not going to spend my time doing that part, this thing that they added. High-level Gigantics, Dread Enemies, and Recon Gigants added to Makad. Starless Gigantics join the fray. Honestly, this is what we all wanted. Gigantics and Retem raised to level 84. This raises the question if we can still get from the level 79 North Alio Recon Gigas any Giga Strugments, or if we have to go to Retem to get Giga Strugments. New Stardust enemies, part destruction is a key to success. We learn about part destruction in the Solace battle, so the community is definitely up to snuff in fighting whatever new Stardust enemy comes our way. Urgent Quest, Mining Rig Defense, Retem rank 3 and more. Rank 3 increases the level of the enemies and also adds Starless to some waves. So, Mining rig defense is a UQ that you can lose. This means that there will be a lot of toxic players. This UQ brings out the worst in players because it takes 15 to 20 minutes to complete and you can lose it. And so there will be players who will use nearby character option and find that if there isn't a ranger and then there isn't a attacker, they will leave. In fact, the way it normally works is that if the towers take a hit, the rigs take a hit or two, by the end of the first or second rounds or waves, players will leave. And so it's unfortunate, but that is what happens. You will also get players who will come in and go AFK as well. So be ready. A new Stardust boss enemy combat gets even more intense. Yeah, we'll see it when we. We'll see it. And I'll believe it when I see it. Arc's records for field race, West Vietnam Dash Stage 1 solo, don't care. Alliance Mag is a new build part for Alliance Space. So this makes me wonder if, say, Potency Up is going to work in everywhere, including cocoons, anywhere. And so what happens when the region mags are disabled in different areas, but the Alliance mag works inside of those areas? You might get people who will join a guild just for the Alliance mag. In fact, that's base PSO2 all over again. So I can literally see people joining guilds for a level 10 Alliance mag. Nox series build parts, I like it, but I will combine it with the other tile sets to make something interesting. I've always liked the mushroom sets in base PSO2, so I am happy they're making a new one. They're releasing a new one for NGS. So this is what we've been waiting for. Class level cap raised to 80. New class skills, only to be added to certain classes to balance the use of long-range weapons in multiplayer. They really should define what they mean in multiplayer. Maximize enemy level and clear difficulty multiplier maximization set for trainee challenge settings. That's a real mouthful. Hopefully there are titles accompanying that. Change some specifications of dual quests, making it easier to play than ever. Well, the purpose of a dual quest was to add challenge to the game, and so now with the doubling of time and dropping their HP, makes me wonder what the requirements are to get S. So adjusted the visibility of lock-on markers, okay. Display the number of available support items, don't care. Add-on skill 4 and 5 for generate add-on skill. Don't care too much about it. Different cell shading settings for each character. So this is transferring the option from graphics to the salon. So now it's character specific. So that's always nice. Player movement motion correction options. This is good as long as it doesn't reset everything to default like it's done to me before. Can now register frequently used portable holograms. Okay. Maximum number of favorite emotes to 100. Tab added to select accessories in Salon. Okay. Arc's ID now has some new backdrops that are available from titles. Okay, so what are the titles? And what are the new backdrops? And we end with a scratch. Street Beat. Okay, so we get baggy pants and baggy outerwear. Okay. And a new dance. Okay, so it's a scratch that I will probably skip. It's not to say that the costumes look good or bad. I do like this one. It's just, I mean, this looks like a straitjacket. This is making me look like a rappy straitjacket. Okay. Um, if I want to add insult to injury, I live in Massachusetts. This looks like how a person dresses in Boston during the summer. Okay, definitely skipping this scratch. And that's everything. Good luck and have fun, everyone.